doing, YouTube? Hope we doing great tonight. It's 2:30 in the morning. I'm feeling great, feeling blessed, reading. If you haven't read this book, it's a great book. I read this book like 5 years ago. I was in North Dakota when I read this book. But that book right there changed my life for the better. This is why I'm on this entrepreneurial journey, man. Buying assets, buying businesses. One thing about the world in America, it rewards the people that's willing to take risk. Period. Like, if you want to be mediocre, if you want to, like the dude in the comments said, get a job, work hard, don't buy, what do you say? Don't buy nothing, no crazy purchases. Man, that is not how you do it, bro. But that's the old way. That's, according to the way his profile picture looked, he looked older. So, he was pretty negative in the comment. But that's not the way to do it. America is a corporation. And the way corporations make money, guess what? They got a market. And the way that they market was selling you the American dream. Period. I got that from my mentor. My mentor talk about this a lot. The American dream. So that means go get a job, go to school, go to work, raise your hand and use the bathroom, make sure you come back on time, lunch break, whatever. Buy the house, have the 2 kids, make sure you have a dog. That's the American dream. And you will forever be broke. Forever be broke, bro. You'll forever be broke. You'll forever work for money. You will forever work for money. And that's not a life. Look, if that's what you want, perfect. Do you. Perfect, do you. You know what I mean? But the people that's out here trying to get it a different way, they're trying to create wealth, they're trying to be rich, that's trying to show their kids, future kids, on how to get it, and pass down deeds and assets. Don't get mad at us because we got a vision that God gave us. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people say, you think you better than... Man, look, if that's what you think, I didn't say that, you said it. So, this book, like I said, I've been different all my life. When I was a youngin', I always had that, that ain't right, or man, that ain't what I want to do. I don't want to be working until I'm 91 at Walmart, But when I picked up this book, this was like 5 years ago, dude. Like, I was in college, and this book explained it all. And I working at Home Depot then. That's crazy. And this book explained it all. If you haven't read that book, it's about Robert Kiyosaki. He had 2 dads. He had a biological dad, and he had a dad that taught him finances. The biological dad was, guess what? He was a teacher. He went to school. He had a regular job. He had the house. He had boom, 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 water, the American dream. And guess what? He's remained broke. He thought money was from the devil. He had that concept of go get a job, go to school, get a nice, keep upgrading your degree, get a master's, get a PhD. That was his biological dad thought. But his rich dad, which was Mike's, which was his high school friend or his neighborhood friend, that was Mike's dad. And Mike's dad, not at the time in the story, he wasn't rich, But he understood the way money works. He understood that they print money, man. They print it. That means that they create it out of thin air. So that means it holds no value. So don't trade your time for dollars. You know what I mean? Now, that goes to say, I'm not saying don't get a job. I'm not saying don't pay your bill. I'm not saying none of that. But understand how money works. I understand how money works. I understand that the only way to get rich, the only way to grab wealth and live an abundant life is to go into more debt. Period. That's the way it is. That's the way the system is set up. You have to, if you can go grab $100,000 in debt through a business, I'm not saying put that in your personal name, but through a business, you buy assets that'll pay some of the debt back and pay you money while it appreciates. That's how it works. And when you get the $100,000, you can graduate to 200 grand. Then guess what? You a millionaire. You can go borrow $1 million. Now 500 million. Now you're like 700 million. That's how you do it. You keep buying assets and you keep showing the bank that you can handle it, and you keep producing money, bro. That's how you do it. That's how you get into rooms that you never heard of. That's how you get rich. You go into more debt. And Rich Dad understood that. Poor Dad didn't. His biological dad didn't. And guess what? Robert Kiyosaki, he went the Rich Dad route. So he started buying property. Him and his wife Kim started buying property. And if you look up Robert Kiyosaki now, bro, he's a billionaire. And this book changed my life. That's the way, this is what sparked the way I think now. Like I work my 9 to 5 to keep my credit up. I work my 9 to 5 to go grab loans if I need personal loans. I keep my 9 to 5 to invest in mentorship, to invest in properties. This is what I do. This is what I plan to do for the rest of my life, which is be a real estate investor. And by the comment that the dude made today, you don't understand money. That's not how money works. Not if you want your life. Now, a lot of people don't mind doing that for the rest of their life, but you gotta understand how money works. Like it's amazing how, we can work and then we get a direct deposit from a company. Like, bro, we never see the money. It's just a number that appears into our account. Think about that. I mean, yeah, you can go to the bank and withdraw it, but guess what? It's something that we didn't see. It's not valuable. Money, look, bro, just because you put a lot of value on something don't mean that it's valuable. Just because you put a lot of value on something, that don't mean that it's valuable. That's your truth. Like, just because you value a rock that's shaped like a diamond, don't mean I'm gonna value that. Like, what does the market say is worth? You know what I mean? And a lot of people put too much value on money, on paper, on things that they print daily. The only thing money is good for is to invest in assets. You know what I mean? Anything else, bro, it ain't worth nothing, man. It ain't worth nothing. And I know people gonna be saying, "Oh man, if it ain't worth nothing, give me your money." Nah, what I'm saying is, like, understand how money works. Understand how money works. Understand how money works. And it's very important to understand that if you want to be wealthy, rich, if you want to live the life that your parents or your kids, or I mean not your kids, but your uncles and nephews and your bloodline never lived, you have to understand how money works. Now, this generation, we have access to the internet. This is like the first generation that we have truly access to the internet. And it's really easy to get rich. It really is. We've been set up to where we say credit is bad. Credit is, just use your credit to get a car. And hey, it's not what it's for, man. That's not what it's for. I'm telling you, it's like it's like night and day. If you want to understand how money works, you need to do some digging, you need to study. You need to. This is the first book you need to read. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That's what the book is called. Read that book, and then you're gonna go down a rabbit hole. I promise you, you're gonna go down a rabbit hole. And a lot of people say, "Oh, debt is bad." No, your type of debt is bad. Student loan debt is bad. Personal credit card debt is bad. Consumer debt is bad. But if you can go to the bank and get 500 grand and go buy assets that pay you. So if you can borrow 500 grand and the note on that 500 grand is, I don't know, 3,500 a month, but you can use that 500 grand to go buy an asset that's paying you 7 grand a month. Man, do the math on that. That's $3,500 cash flow. Like, come on, that's good debt. But a lot of people do not understand that. And that's cool. More real estate for me. More money for me. The banks are in business to lend out money. To lend out to LLCs and corporations. That's what they're in the business for. Period. Now, like I said, that might go over a lot of people's head. But gotta learn this, man, or it's gonna be another generation stuck. And I'm not dying until I'm not letting this pass me up, because God gave me the vision a long time ago, which I didn't understand at the time, but now I do. And like I said, I got 4 doors right now, 2 duplexes. I'm in the middle of getting funded again. Getting more funding from the bank. So I'm almost I'm at about 300 grand in credit. Now my first round of credit, I bought a property with it. And honestly, so how much was it? It was 115, I think. The property was 115 grand. I put 20% down, which is about 22,000, I want to say, because 10% of 115 is 11. Yeah, 10% of that, that's 20%. About 22. Then you got to get inspection. Then you got to get appraisal. So I was all in like 25,000 or something like that. And the lender that I go through, they will only loan on it if it's worth the same or more than what the property is listed for. So I got the appraisal, and the property was worth 135. So I got it at 115, 20% down. So you get your loan is on the 115 minus the 22,000. So that's what, 90-some thousand. And it was worth 135. So right now, the next day I could have sold it and got a profit, or cash out refi and get up to 75% of the property. And the cash flow is crazy. So it's a duplex, and it's getting $1,200 each side on a $90 to $100,000 loan, right? So my mortgage, my PITI, which is interest, taxes, and 2 more things, PITI, is about $1,100 a month. That's with everything. That's with property management and everything. And 2 units equals about $2,400 in rent. So I pay my $1,100, which is the mortgage, which is the principal, insurance, taxes, and interest. Yeah, that's what it is. PITI. Principal, insurance, taxes, and interest. So guess what? I'm taking $1,100 home. I'm taking $1,100 home. minus my credit cards. So, like I said, I bought a credit card. I didn't use any of my own money. So I'm taking cash flow home. And guess what happens over a year, 2 years? The tenants pay down the mortgage. And guess what? I can refi, pay the credit cards back, whatever I want to do with the money, go buy more real estate. And my net worth just increased. You know what I mean? So that's how you do it. That's how you get rich, guys. That's how you get wealthy. You buy assets that pay you, pay the bank. You refi out of it, you go get more property. Keep stacking, using debt, using good debt. And the credit cards are just it's just a knock at the door. That's not including SBA loans. That's not including BLOCs, business line of credit. You know, that money is a lot cheaper. You know, they get 120 grand on 3%. Like, that's crazy, man. Like I said, it's literally, America is literally built for you to win. It's built for you to win. But you gotta understand the language. You gotta understand the language. And just like there's programs for poor people, there's programs for food stamps, there are programs for Section 8. If that's what you want in life, guess what? America got that for you. But if you want to be a multi-millionaire, if you want to be a millionaire, if you want to be a billionaire, guess what? America has programs for that too. They help you out, man. Because why? The more money they loan out, the more they get back. Just pay them some off top. You keep the rest. Period. That's it. And people always ask me, oh, why don't teach this in school? Because you will have everybody at the top. Nobody will be on the bottom to even rent the spots. You know what I mean? So, guess what? Learn how money works, guys. It's going to change your life. And like I said, I'm not rich, but I do have properties under my belt. And I don't even use my own money to do it. And guess what? My property manager, she take care of everything. Only thing she do, only time we talk is she asks me, do you want to hold off on fixing this is mandatory, and she send me my money, deposit into my business account. That's it, bro. I'm telling you, this thing is not hard, but you gotta have patience, because guess what? I'm finna get funded again. Like, by this time next year or a year and a half, I have $1 million in funding. $1 million in credit. That's how you do it. And I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna get up out of here. This video is gonna be hard to upload because it's 18 minutes long. But when I realized that it takes me a year to gross 200 grand from my job, it take me a year to gross 200 grand from my job, right? But then I can go to the bank and get 200 grand in 60 days. I knew right then and there, man, bro, we have been misled. We've been taught to work for money when the banks are giving out money. Man, let that sink in. We are taught to work 600 hours for coins, and the bank is giving it away for nothing. You gotta have good credit. That ain't nothing. Like, come on, man. Like, so to the guy that left that comment today, man, you don't have a clue, brother. Like, you lost. You lost. And if you're an old cat, you're an old lost cat. If you think just working and going to school and not making big purchases and man, bro, you lost, man. That is no longer the way. And anyway, but hope you're having a great night. That's my little money financial literacy session. Go get this book. It'll change your life. If you're not ready to change your life, do not go get this book, man. I'm telling you, because once you read that book, you're going to feel like you've been cheated. And then you got to make a move then. So, y'all have a good night, man. Be blessed. It's 2:42 a.m. in West Texas. And y'all Y'all be blessed and not stressed. Peace.